सेम टाइम। फायर एंड आइस आप लोग जानते हैं, क्या एक आदमी भी एक साथ भी दोनों हो सकता है, दोनों इच्छाएं वन टाइम? सोहेल।
According to situation, if both are in a person, it occurs according to situation.
The question is asking, would it be exist at the same time? एक ही साथ दोनों हो सकते हैं क्या?
No, sir. At the same time, not both are states.
प्रिंस।
No, sir. Uh, fire and fire and ice not created at the same time because for the heat desire is necessary.
Anyone among Sai Jamals and Shaurya and sir? Yes, sir. Sai Jamals also.
No, sir.
Sadiq Jamal.
No, sir, because if anyone hates someone, then it will remain in his mind and heart, and it will continue come in your mind, and you remain hate him, and your hatred is increased day by day, and the desire of what he want to get is completely destroyed. So it cannot come in the same time.
So you are saying that it cannot be happen at one time. Shaurya saying.
Sir, I thought that both things can be at same time or not be at same time, because if
You have choose to answer.
sir, I think both can be on same time.
Both can be.
Yes, sir.
How?
Because if anyone hate someone because of any reason, like for his success or his greediness, then he will think that he have two choice, that he will show his problems, and second he will show his success. Then he can make a desire with his hate to get good success in his life.
Sadiq Jamal.
I did not think so that both appear at the same time.
Pratibha.
It can be appear at the same time, because if a person hates someone, it is necessary that if a person hating someone, then that person who was hated from that he is much better than him, So which person is hating that person, he also with hatred he also have a wish. He also have a wish or desire, we can say it, that rising it, that he also want to achieve that for which he was waiting.
That is the desire that you want to go ahead from some person.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling, na?
What is the indifferent?
What?
Extreme of fire and ice. That is indifferent. What is indifferent at the same time?
I am telling that if a person is hating someone, means hatred, means ice here come. If a person is hating someone, then it must be that which person was hated, means which person was hated have much better than that person who was hating him, and which person was hating him, he also have a desire or also have a wish to grow up like that person.
Fatima.
I think both cannot occur at same time, because if there will be, firstly there will be conflict, then after slowly it will hatred will generate in someone's heart, and it will take time, not at the same time.
Ritika.
I think that both cannot be occur at same time, because if we conflict with another person, then it is a conflict for some time. But after some time, it changes into a hatred. So it changes from fire to ice. So it does not exist at same time.
Fatima, Ritika, these are totally wrong. fire and ice may be at the same time within a person. These are what is this? These are the emotion, and emotion can be at the same time. So, to the point of view of this question, Pratibha, Sadiq, Jamal, Shaurya, these are true. Okay. हमारे साथ हमारे अंदर एक साथ कई भावनाएं हो सकती है. At the same time, they may be. If we want to be ahead from someone, just like that, there are competition to go ahead from another. That is desire. But if some circumstances that produce him in the same situation, that may back you, and the examiner is asking from you that what happened actually, so you may be indifferent at that point too. अब चुप भी रह सकते हैं because you have to save yourself, क्योंकि आपको पीछे नहीं जाना है. So desire and indifferent eyes may be at the same time within a person. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बल्कि some people also use this formula that if you want to grow faster, if you want to grow ahead, or you want to grow on the top, then you have to beg others consider. ऐसा होता है. We come to the last chapter. Take water for 2 minutes, rest, and we will start the next and last chapter. From the diary of Anne Frank. That is the lesson. The first question is what makes
For the 13-year girl, she go.
Listen, question one again. What makes writing in a diary a strange experience for Anne Frank?
Anne Frank was a 13-year girl. He was newly to write a diary. This is a strange experience, and she was worried. She was worried that anyone will read its diary or not.
So,
And Frank did not write this like this, and first time he wrote this at before the many times. He thinks that nobody can get read his personal diary.
Saeed Jamal.
He never experienced to write anything in the diary, and she is thinking that no one is interested to read her story daily life.
Shaurya.
The main thing was that she had never ever written diary before this time, and also she think that no one be interested in to read the diary of the little girl.
Okay. This is the perfect answer. She was worried because who will read her diary because she is very young girl. and she has never written diary before. Why does Anne want to keep a diary? Next question is that. Why does Anne want to keep a diary? Sadiq Jamal.
And friend want to keep a diary because she have no friend to which she confide her secrets or plans.
So she wants to keep a diary.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right, yes, sir. Why did Anne think she could confide more in her diary than in people? Pratibha.
Because paper has more patience than people.
Paper has more patience than people. Sahid Jamal.
She is thinking, for saying she have 30 friends, but share any secret with her friends, and as a diary, the paper have more patience than people, so that's why she choose paper, and she wrote her personal secret with her best friend Kitty.
In diary. Okay. Why did Anne think she could confide? Why does Anne provide a brief sketch of her life? Ritika.
Anna trying to provide a brief sketch of her life because it is easy to reader to get information about her in a brief and to tell because she thinks Kitty is insider and she want to tell her about her personal things, and so she tell brief sketch of her life in diary and share and confide in it.
Fatima. Listen the question. Why does Anne provide a brief sketch of her life?
And provide a brief sketch of her life in her diary because she wants the readers to understand her life easily. Because if she would tell about her family, her brief life sketch, then it would be easier for the reader to understand what she had written in the diary.
Okay. Next question is, what tells you that Anne loved her grandmother? Or second question is, describe Anne's love for her grandmother. Sahid Jamal.
When her parents go to Holland, and then in the month of December, her sister will also go to the Holland. Then in the age of 4 years, she lived with her grandmother, and after the death, she go to the Holland, and in her birthday, she lighted the candle on her birthday. She lighted the candle for her grandmother.
Pratibha, can you add something? Sorry.
On the birthdays, Anne Frank, after the operation of grandmother from the disease, the grandmother is no more, and this is the real reason behind the loving of Anne Frank to her grandmother. She did not celebrate her birthday due to this.
So that is the same thing that Sahid Jamal answered. There is no change. Okay, down your hands. क्वेश्चन का आंसर कंप्लीट था साहिद जमाल से। मैं जानना चाहता था कि आपके पास क्या है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, व्हाई वाज मिस्टर किसिंग annoyed with Anne? What did he ask her to do? Sadiq Jamal.
Mr. Kissing annoyed with Anne because in the class Anne was talking much, and Mr. Kissing didn't like that Anne was talking in the class. Then he assigned Anne as an extra homework to write an essay on a chatterbox.
Okay, perfect answer. Why did Anne justify her being a chatterbox in her essay? Sohail.
He justified her chatterbox in essay that the it is a ability of a student to talk in the class. After that, teacher listened this and Mr. Kissing laughed on it.
Sahid Jamal, improve it.
So she is written on the poem that it is the talkative nature that all students should have, and I have more talkative because it is an inherited trait, and my mother is also talkative, so it cannot be changed. And my mother is also talkative in nature. That's all.
This was the right answer. Do you think Mr. Kissing was a strict teacher? Prince.
Yes, Mr. Kissing was a strict teacher. Because when Anne Frank talked too much in the class, then he gives homework to her.
Anyone? Fatima. You have to improve this question.
Mr. Kissing was not very strict teacher. We can say that as he was strict but not very much. As he want to be every students to be in discipline and obedient while he was teaching. But Anne did not do this. She was always busy in talking in the class, and hence he was annoyed with her. And also when Anne wrote a poem on the topic quack quack said the chatterbox, then he laughed at her, and after that finally he accepted her talkative nature and does not scold him anymore. This shows that he is fun loving kid.
Okay. Sahid Jamal, Anne Anne tells a story of three quakes. Can you complete that?
In this poem, in that poem, she written that a father, a swine father is died because her three ducklings are quacking too much, and the swine father died because of her ducklings quacked too much.
Sorry.
In the story, Anne Frank has written that the swan had killed his most quacking duck because he is quacking so much. Then the teacher, Mr. Kissing, have taken this story in good way and realized that the Anne Frank is inherited of so much talkative nature.
Anyone who want to correct Ritika?
In this story, Anna writes that there is a mother duck and father swan. They have three ducklings, and the father was beaten to death because of their three ducklings quacked so much. This is a joke on Mr. Kissing that was written by Anna. This joke was perfectly and rightly taken by Mr. Kissing. He understands the joke, and he adds its own comment, and now he understands that Anna is right, and he give permission her to talk in the class.
Okay. Duckling father did not kill them, he beats them. And while beating them, at that time too, the three children were quacking continuously. You have to remember that. What made Mr. Kissing allow Anne to talk? That is right. Was Anne right when she said that the world would not be interested in the musing of a 13-year-old girl? Sahid Jamal.
No, sir. Because in her diary, she is briefly sketch her life and her secrets that would be already known by her friend and him herself. So they are interested, and in the world, it becomes the world most buy book by the people, a reading book by the people.
Most selling in the world. Okay, that is right. There are some examples of diary or journal entries in the before you read section. Compare this with the NS writing in her diary. What languages was the diary originally written in? In what way is Anne's diary different from other diary or journal? Pratibha.
Others write diary in formal. They also mention that date and other things. They make diary writing formal, but Anne write in formal diary. She just made diary her friend and talk means write in her just like a friend, not any formal thing. She writes in formal.
In what language was the diary originally written in?
Touch.
Dutch. In how many languages are what were the in how many languages it was translated? You can answer if there is no any actual idea, so you can say
There are many languages. This diary are converted, and in our book, this language is converted in English.
right answer. Why does Anne need to give a brief sketch about her family? Does she treat Kitty as an insider or an outsider? Sahid Jamal.
She is treating insider Kitty because she is giving brief sketch of her.
Mr. Kissing. What do these tell you about her? Prince? Answer though.
Anne's father and his Anne's father is a very admirable man, and he was married his mother when he was at 36 and her mother was at 25.
How does Anne feel about her father, grandmother, Mrs. Cooper's, Mr. Kissing? What do these tell you about her? Sadiq Jamal.
Anne mentioned in her diary that about her father firstly. He mentioned that he see a father, he see like him as a father for the first time. That like him, he had never he never seen a father. And about her grandmother is that he loved his grandmother very much. In the year 1941, his grandmother had an operation. Due to this, he did not celebrate his birthday, and after his death, he also remember her. And about Mr. Cooper's, is a teacher in the secondary school of primary school of NA, where in the farewell both in the eyes of both come tears, and Anne loved Mr. Cupress much. And about he wrote in the diary about Mr. Kissing. He wrote that he had a person. He had a person which he made as a worst, because he was complaining about Mr. Kissing in her diary.
Sahid Jamal.
For father, she writes that she has most adorable father in her life, and she never like father this. And for her mother, when she died, then he lit the candle on her birthday and remember her grandmother because she loved her too much. And for Mr. Cuperus, so in the primary school, when the farewell of the school over there, and she going to other place, then both of them cried too much. And for Mr. Kissing, so Mr. Kissing so much annoyed with her, and because of her talkative nature, and by the poems, Mr. Kissing thinks that she can embarrass her in between the class, but it goes in the opposite direction, and after that, Mr. Kissing stop giving her extra homework, and that is right that she is complaining about Mr. Kissing.
अगले क्वेश्चन पे चलते हैं. What does Annie write in her first essay? Ritika.
And I write in her first essay that it's not her problem to talk so much in her class. There is first reason is that it is a birthright to a student to talk in the class, and second, this quality is get by her mother inherited, and she cannot do anything about inherited trait. Inherited because her mother talks so much, so she also talks so much. And she try to control over it, but she cannot control it.
Okay. Sahid Jamal.
There is a first time that talkative nature is good for a student because if we talk, then it will seem our boldness and confidence in between the people, and it was her inherited trait because her mother is talkative too much. That's why inherited trait cannot be changed.
To justify her answer, she also tells a story of 3 ducklings. You can add this also.
Sir, but that was the third essay. Now, in the question asked for the first essay.
That was the third essay, but she tries to justify her trait as a characteristic of चलिए, this question is completed, so आगे चलते हैं. N says teachers are most unpredictable. N says teachers are most unpredictable. Is Mr. Kissing unpredictable? Sohail.
And said teachers are unpredictable. That at the time of last date of year when a student get change their class upper class, and that time the teacher stops some student who cannot able to go upper class.
Prince. आंसर दोगे इसका? Shaurya.
And I thought that teacher is the most unpredictable creature on earth because before after giving the extra assignment to an friend thought that Mr. Kissing is very strict teacher, but after the third essay she thought that he is also not so much strict. because he taken her joke as good and also allow her to talk in class because of her talkative nature.
Sai Jamal.
So when Mr. Kissing is unpredictable because before that of the talkative nature of NA, he gives her the extra assignment as a poem of Chatterbox, and he thinks that he can embarrass her by making joke in the class, but it is going opposite, and then after he again got catch in the talkative talking in the class in his class. Then he give extra homework again, and then of the three quackling talking together, the poem is that, and he take it in a right way, and then he give her permission to talk in the class and stop giving her extra homework.
Why Mr. Kissing gives permission to talk in the class? Ritika.
Mr. Kissing give permission to talk to Anna in the class because in the third essay, Anna write about the mother duck and father swan and three ducklings. That was a joke on the Mr. Kissing, and Mr. Kissing understands that joke rightly, and he also add his own comments, and he knows that Anna should be allowed to talk in her class.
Fatima. That was only joke or anything more?
It was not only joke. It was a joke, but joke that Anne played on Mr. Kissing, but Mr. Kissing took it seriously in a right way and allowed her to talk in the class.
Why Mr. Kissing take it seriously, Pratibha? What was in this story?
In this story, there are three children ducks, and the father swan beat them when they quack too much. Means that's the same situation. When the children duck quack too much, then the father is annoyed from them. And in the same situation happened with Annie, that she talked too much in the class, and Mr. Kissing always talked funny.
Anyone? Because the answer is not come out till now. There is something more than the mere story. Anna tries to tell Mr. Kissing that this is the basic nature of duckling to talk all the time. That's why when the father was beating them, at that time too, they were also quack quack. And relate that duckling with herself also, because she is also a children. She is also a child, younger child. So she tries to say that children of duckling, human baby, or any children, they have a real nature, they have a basic nature, that they mostly be talkative. And that was the point that Mr. Kissing allowed her to talk in the class. आपको ये बताना था, क्वेश्चन वाज आस्किंग. What do this statement tell you about Anne Frank as a person? As a person, Anne Frank कैसे है? Point है इसमें. First, we don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that is the problem. Maybe it is my fault that we don't confide in each other. This is the first time. साहिद जमा बताया.
It shows that Anna is a reserved nature and she cannot say her secrets to her friends because she doesn't feel secure by saying this, and it can be passed through other friends if she don't want that fire.
She is blaming on herself that
Because she is reserved nature.
she is reserved nature and she is telling and she is blaming on herself that it may be my fault that there is no one of my friend.
Yes.
Second पे आते हैं. I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would, but I want the diary to be my friend. Ritika.
She wants to be original and different. She wants that like other people. She does not want to like those type of diaries. She wants to make the diary her friend and share her all personal things, her everything in diary. She wants to become original and different from others.
So she did not want to write any fact. She wants to write everything of daily life. सही है, चलते हैं आगे. Third है, Margaret went to Holland in December and I followed in February. When I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margaret. Fatima.
From this statement, we can consider that Anne had a good sense of humor, and he can describe the event more. He can describe the events better.
बताओ रितिका.
Anna is loved from other people, from her sister Margaret. So she plunked down for her. She is a witty for her sister Margaret.
चलिए. फातिमा का आंसर ठीक कर देता आपसे. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back, but teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. Ritika, listen once more. If you ask me, and कहती है कि अगर आप मुझसे पूछे, there are so many dummies, तो वो स्टूडेंटों को बहुत सारे डमी बताते हैं. That about a quarter of the class should be kept back. एक चौथाई को तो बैक ही रख हो जाए ऐसे. But teachers are, आगे ये भी कहते हैं, teacher are most unpredictable creatures on the world.
So what I have to tell? What I have to tell about it?
एंड ये कह रही है कि आज जो रिजल्ट का दिन है तो 1/4 स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे ही हैं जो फेल होंगे उसके अनुसार. लेकिन फिर कहती है कि टीचर जो है इस दुनिया का, इस वर्ल्ड का सबसे अनप्रेडिक्टेबल क्रिएचर है. यानी जिसके बारे में कुछ निश्चित ना कहा जा सके कि वो कब क्या कर दे, किसको फेल कर दे, किसको पास कर दे, किसको क्या कर दे. Why she is saying so? आपका आंसर ही बताना.
Because she had experienced this with Mr. Kissing. Mr. Kissing that at the time Mr. Kissing stopped him to talk, and at the time she allowed her to talk. And the same situation is happening here, that according to Anne, there are many terms those who didn't have to pass in the class, but teacher are the teacher are most unpredictable creature of the earth. Means if a teacher wants that, they can also pass that terms who don't deserve to be passed.
Last question. Anyone could ramble on the leaf big spaces between the words, but the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. और बताओ रितिका.
I think it tells that Anna is intelligent. She make plans and she had ideas, new creativity ideas to how to write an essay to convince the Mr. Kissing about the essay that she is right.
फातिमा, इसी क्वेश्चन का आंसर दीजिए. Anyone could trample on the leave big spaces between the words, but the trick was to come up with a convincing argument to prove the necessity of talking.
This shows the intelligence of Anna. It shows that she had an idea how to argument, how to convincingly argument with other, so that he could not to feel annoyed with her.
Sai Jamal.
It shows that Mr. Kissing changed his mood and
क्वेश्चन ये कह रहा है कि कन्विंसिंग आर्गुमेंट्स आपको अपनी बात को प्रूव करने के लिए आवश्यक है. आप अपनी बात को कितना फोर्सफुली रख पाते हैं, कितना आर्गुमेंटेटिव तरीके से रख पाते हैं.
In the poem of Anne, which is given by Mr. Kissing, Mr. Kissing thought that he will embarrass her in a class, but the joke is going opposite, and she wrote a good poem that is taken by Mr. Kissing in a good manner, and that's why Mr. Kissing gave her permission to talk in the class.
Okay. Thank you all of you that you have participated in this debate. You have been very patient throughout the debate. So thank you.
ताली बजाइए. जैसे मतलब कि कुछ जवाब ऐसे आते हैं, जैसे सर ने एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे हो गया, एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे जैसे भारत के प्रधानमंत्री कौन है, जिससे पूछे बोला नरेंद्र मोदी, अगले ने हाथ उठाया, गुजरात के रहने वाले. इस तरह से जवाब आता है. अगर सर ने कोई सवाल पूछा, उसके हाथ में कैसा कौन सा फूल था, तो जवाब आया जिससे पूछे गुलाब का फूल था. यस बोलो, ताजा गुलाब का फूल था. इस तरह से जवाब जो दिखता है, मुझे तो दिखता है और सबको दिखता होगा. और दूसरी चीज की जब क्वेश्चन हम पूछते हैं, सर ने जैसे क्वेश्चन पूछा, न्यू क्वेश्चन, कमेंट्स जिससे पूछा गया उसने जवाब दिया, उस पर कमेंट्स आते हैं और कमेंट्स के लिए हाथ उठते हैं. न्यू क्वेश्चन पे हाथ उठ गया. न्यू क्वेश्चन पे हाथ नहीं उठना चाहिए. और हम बोलेंगे प्रिंस तुम बोलो, वो बोलेगा मुझे नहीं आता है, या किसी और से हम बोलेंगे, उसने अधूरा जवाब दिया, फिर हाथ उठाएंगे. यहां तो फ्रेश क्वेश्चन है, पहले हाथ उठ गया. बिल्कुल फ्रेश में सब नाम बताते हैं, वो बोलेगा. कमेंट्स, ये तो फ्रेश क्वेश्चन पे कमेंट्स की तरह हो गया. उसमें होता क्या है कि जब हम किसी से सवाल पूछते हैं तो वो फंसता है और फिर सीधे बोलता है सर पास, मुझे ये नहीं आता है. और फिर इसमें क्या हुआ, 5-6 हाथ उठाए, अगला चुपचाप है. बहुत बार यहाँ इस तरह का हुआ है. और भी मेहनत करिए, मुझे लगा और मेहनत की जरूरत है, और एनर्जी लाइए. खास करके कुछ बच्चों के अंदर काफी एनर्जी कम था. मुझे उम्मीद है कि अगला शायद 6 नवंबर को है, छुट्टी के चलते हम लोग कंटिन्यू नहीं हो पा रहा है। बायो का होगा, उम्मीद है कि और भी अच्छा देखने के लिए मिलेगा सबका। कुछ क्वेश्चन जैसे फातिमा ने हाथ उठाया, सर ने बोला नहीं बोलने के लिए, कमेंट्स। उधर से शादिक ने भी हाथ उठाया, सर ने बोला नहीं कि ठीक है बोलो। उसके दो वजह हैं जो मुझे लगा। कभी कभी सर अपना सर नीचे कर देते थे, देख नहीं पाते थे। सर ने पूछा, उसने जवाब दिया, ओके, नीचे चला गया, वो देख नहीं पाए, अगला क्वेश्चन रेज कर दिया। ऐसा फातिमा के साथ भी हुआ। क्योंकि कमेंट्स के लिए जब हाथ उठेगा तो उसको जरूर बोलना है कि आप बोलो, तुम अपनी बातें एक्सप्लेन करो। दूसरा क्वेश्चन में मुझे ऐसा लगा कि उस क्वेश्चन का बिल्कुल कोई जवाब नहीं है। जैसे मैंने बोला गुलाब का फूल है, तो उसने हाथ उठा के बोला ताजा गुलाब का फूल है। सर को पता है कि अब इसके अलावा कोई जवाब इसका है नहीं, फिर भी हाथ उठ गया। तो सर ने उसको नजरअंदाज कर दिया कि अब इसका कोई जवाब है ही नहीं, तो तुम हाथ क्या उठा रहे हो। परफेक्ट, वही मैं बोल रहा हूं कि बिल्कुल ऐसा हुआ कि सर के नजर में बिल्कुल वो परफेक्ट आंसर है। अब उसमें कुछ होगा नहीं, फिर भी हाथ उठाए हुए हैं, यही बोलने के लिए कि सर ताजा गुलाब है। इस तरह की बातें बोलने के लिए हाथ उठाए। हाँ, उसको रिपीट करना है, बिल्कुल रिपीट हो रहा है। मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि जो भी मार्किंग होगा, शिक्षक काफी परिपूर्ण है, जानते हैं और सब समझते हैं और सब उनको क्या करना है। बैलेंसिंग मैंने इसलिए बोला क्योंकि मैंने देखा तो मुझे ऐसा लगा, मैं चाहता हूँ सबसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए, मौका दिया जाए और इक्वल पूछा जाए। क्योंकि हम लोग यहाँ सीखने के लिए कुछ आए हैं। डिबेट तो एक माध्यम है, बस मकसद सीखना है। नाम डिबेट है, मकसद सीखना है और कुछ भी नहीं है। अपने एकेडमिक लेसन को अच्छे तरह से सीख जाए और सुन करके हम याद कर लें। मैं बोलता हूँ, आप पढ़ के जितना याद करते हो ना, सुन करके जब याद करोगे जीवन में नहीं भूलोगे। दादी माँ ने बचपन में कहानी सुनाया, आप 20 साल के बाद भी वो कहानी याद रहती है, दादी माँ ने मुझे ये कहानी सुनाया। लेकिन आजकल के परिवेश में तो मुझे ऐसा नजर आता है कहानी सुनाने का सिस्टम ही खत्म हो गया। क्योंकि मोबाइल और टीवी ने कहानी का जगह, आपके पास इंटरटेनमेंट करने का दूसरा जरिया है। पहले रात में जब हम सोने जाते थे तो घर के या गांव के बड़े बुजुर्ग के पास बैठ कर चलिए आप कोई कहानी सुनाइए, तो वो कहानी सुनाता था और वो कहानी बिल्कुल याद हो जाता था। डिबेट में भी यही मकसद है, सुन के आप याद कर। बहुत अच्छा रहा, उम्मीद है कि अगला बार और अच्छा रहेगा। ओके, थैंक यू।